All right, label it market value of skills and knowledge. So this is SOL 4, A, and D. And we'll get to D here in a second. It's toward the end of these slides. But we're talking about value of worker skills and knowledge. And guys, this is easy. Hopefully it's easy. So basically, guys, the more skills and the more knowledge I have at something, I'm going to have a better chance of getting a job over someone who doesn't have as much experience or knowledge as I do, right? Right? Easy enough, okay? So, first thing we're going to deal with, we're going to try to determine what determines market value of a resource. So how do they come about, what do we come up with as a number for the market value of resources? How do we know that this is worth more than this and that and this, okay? We're going to talk about the market value of a worker's skills and how we determine that. We're going to talk about a derived demand, and then how can we decrease or increase the demand of a good or service on the income of the producer, okay? So, again, not too bad stuff, okay? So the first question we're going to try to answer, it says, what determines market value of a resource? So I would just kind of label it market value of a resource and put a question mark. Now, just so we are all on the same page here, market value, guys, is the price that they're trying to get for a certain product. You guys with me? So the market value is actually the price of something, okay? So to earn income, it says people sell productive resources. So a business, common sense, a business is going to sell things in order to make money, right? It says these include their labor, capital, resources, and entrepreneurial talents. In a market economy, the market value of a resource is determined primarily by the supply and demand of that resource. So, what is the market value of a resource? There's really no set in stone answer for this because it can fluctuate up and down. Like, if we have a huge flood, like say it rains and we get 25 inches of rain, the demand for plumbers and the demand for people who clean out basements is going to skyrocket, right? Because there's going to be a lot of water in places we normally don't have it. Correct? So what are they going to do to their prices? They can bump them up and people are still going to pay for it because it's in high demand, it's in need. Y'all understand that? If we have a drought, you're not going to need someone who's putting up guttering systems. Right? There's no need to have a gutter replaced if you're not using it. Y'all get what I'm getting at? So, what determines the market value? It actually is answered at the very bottom here. It is determined primarily by the supply and demand of a resource. So, it is determined by the supply, which is how many people do it, supply and demand of that resource. Hey, dude.
What's going on, man?
Hey, hold on one second. I'm videoing this. So, real quick. I'll be there in a minute, Russ. So, give you an example of something that's in high demand right now. What's coming up?
Election.
Well, yeah, an election is, but I meant as far as a... You're right. You're not wrong. As far as a holiday, what's our next holiday?
Thanksgiving.
Let's go with Halloween. Some of you people are forgetting. And we can use Thanksgiving too. The theme behind Halloween and Thanksgiving is anything fall, right? Pumpkins, corn stalks, things of that nature. I could go buy a pumpkin in January, if I wanted to, for probably less than $2 or $3, right? To go buy a pumpkin in October, what's it going to cost me? 10 to 12, maybe 15 or 20. Why? They can charge that because what's the demand for that product? High, right? The supply of it, we usually have more of them right now, but the demand for it is really high. after Thanksgiving, what happens to all those pumpkins? You drive by them going to Cana. They throw them off down the side of the mountain, don't they? Nobody wants them anymore, right? Kaylee dodged them down there at Mon Bear Trail, trying to get out of the way of them coming in, right? So the idea is it's defined primarily by the supply and demand of that resource. Is everybody with me? All right, the next part of this is going to take me longer than 10 minutes to explain. So we'll talk about how we determine what we're worth tomorrow, okay? So does anybody have any questions on market value of resources? Simply the supply and demand. If more people want it, then we supply it. If we don't have enough supply of it, then that means nobody wants it. Okay? Does anybody have any questions there? All right, that's all I got today. Okay?